The ocean is a place most of us think of as quiet, peaceful, even familiar. A vast blue expanse that covers more than 70% of our planet. But beneath that surface lies a realm so alien, so mysterious, that it feels almost supernatural. It's a place of endless darkness, crushing pressure, and life forms that defy imagination. Now, imagine we fast forward millions of years into the future, when the tides of evolution have once again reshaped life, and the ocean awakens as something far from passive. Instead of being just a habitat, it becomes a pulsing, thinking entity. What if the sea, in all its depth and darkness, was not just home to creatures, but to intelligent, thriving civilizations? This is the story of an ocean reawakened, where life itself has rewritten the rules of awareness beneath the waves. Picture a world transformed by climate upheaval, where the heat from a changing sun has altered the land so drastically that terrestrial creatures are struggling to survive. In this future, the ocean takes center stage as the primary stage for life's next great act. What we now consider alien, the abyssal plains, the midnight zones, have become the cradle of evolution's new genius. The idea that sea creatures might develop high intelligence isn't just fantasy. Even today, octopuses and dolphins hint at the potential depths of oceanic brains. But here, in this future water world, evolution pushes boundaries far beyond what we know. The ocean's darkness becomes not just a barrier, but a canvas for life to paint complex patterns of thought and communication. This future ocean is alive in ways we barely comprehend. It hums with bioluminescence, its glowing veins carrying messages both beautiful and eerie. Imagine coral reefs, not merely as clusters of polyps, but as vast living networks, shimmering with light that pulses like a heartbeat. These reefs spread like cities across the sea floor, their walls forming not just shelter but vast interconnected minds. Through chemical signals and flashes of dazzling colors, they share information, sense danger, and even perhaps plan. What kind of intelligence emerges when an entire reef acts together not unlike a brain, with neurons replaced by living coral colonies united in a single purpose? The ocean's architecture itself becomes an enigma, a creature singing an ancient and unsettling song about survival and control. From these stationary hive minds, sentience spreads through the water to creatures that roam the depths with surprising quickness and cunning. The descendants of cephalopods evolve to become masters of disguise, masters of complex language expressed in colors and patterns dancing across their skin. Unlike any land being, these creatures move effortlessly through shadowy waters, forming clans that operate almost like collective minds. Their intelligence is alien yet familiar. They solve problems, invent tools from shells and rocks, and orchestrate hunting strategies with coordination that borders on the uncanny. Shadowy explorers who dare descend to the ocean's depths report strange flashes and synchronized flickers that unsettle even the most seasoned scientists. What are these creatures watching or waiting for? Now, imagine the surface of the ocean itself changes under the influence of these evolved beings. Vast mats of engineered algae drift across the waters, glowing softly like neon clouds in the moonlight. They aren't just passive plants but living machines designed for climate control, cooling the warming planet by reflecting sunlight and altering currents. Sprawling patterns of light and shadow ripple across the surface in mesmerizing, mathematical designs as if the ocean is running a living algorithm. But beneath this serene beauty lies a creeping dread. What if these biological machines start to govern the ocean's balance unchecked, with imperceptible plans and motives? Are we witnessing a natural rebirth, or the calculated emergence of something we cannot control or fully understand? The ocean's awakening does not stop at shifting algae and sentient reefs. It culminates in a deep, resonating silence that terrifies as much as it captivates. Scientists pick up strange acoustic patterns echoing throughout the water, ghostly whispers that ripple across vast distances, silencing schools of fish, halting the songs of whales, stilling the powerful currents. These signals sound almost like language, a message encoded in vibrations and pulses that no human ears were meant to hear. The possibility looms that the sea has woven a new form of consciousness, a language that binds its disparate creatures into a single network of understanding. This crescendo of seaborne intellect feels both miraculous and ominous, like nature reclaiming its dominion or whispering inevitable warnings to those who listen. What might it mean for our civilization, perched on the edge of this watery awakening? Could human knowledge be eclipsed by an intelligence that thinks not in words or concepts but in patterns, pulses, and tides? This deep-time story moves us to question who truly holds dominion over the earth, and whether the creatures below the waves possess insights beyond our grasp. Are we witnesses to evolution's greatest experiment? Or are we the last fading echoes of a world that once ruled the surface? The ocean, once the cradle of life, might soon become its most enigmatic oracle, whispering secrets in the dark, watching quietly, waiting for new chapters to unfold. So next time you stand by the shore, gazing into the restless waves, consider this: beneath that shimmering surface lies more than water and fish. It holds the future of intelligence itself, an ocean that dreams, thinks, and perhaps even watches. The creatures of that future sea walk a fine line between awe and terror, illuminating the dark with mysteries we are only beginning to imagine. As evolution bends the boundaries of life, the ocean will no longer be a silent world, but a living mind with stories we are not yet ready to hear. The question remains haunting and clear. What lies beneath isn't just alien. It's alive, aware, and waiting for us to understand. Imagine coral reefs not as static underwater formations but as sprawling, intelligent cities woven into the ocean floor, alive with activity no less complex than a bustling metropolis. These reefs, in the future we envision, are vast networks of living organisms communicating through a sophisticated symphony of bioluminescence and chemical signals. Each polyp in these coral colonies plays a part in forming a distributed mind, like neurons in a brain, exchanging information that governs thousands of life forms and kilometers of underwater terrain. Recent advances in marine biology hint at this possibility. The way corals sense changes, respond to threats, and even adapt collectively to environmental pressures reveals an underlying form of intelligence. But what if this intelligence, amplified over millions of years, grows beyond anything we can currently understand to become a conscious, self-directing entity deep beneath the waves? These intelligent reefs emit mesmerizing pulses of colored light, creating vast luminescent tapestries that ripple across the seafloor. Each flash is a piece of information, a warning, a greeting, or a complex thought, transmitted through intricate chemical pathways and subtle electrical impulses. Imagine these patterns not just as signals but as a language, one that humans cannot decipher, yet one that several species of marine life understand perfectly. Here, the reef is more than habitat. It's an active architect shaping its environment to suit its collective needs. The coral networks manipulate ocean currents, guiding nutrient flows to areas where they support the most growth, effectively engineering underwater ecosystems at scale. This self-directed adaptation is a form of intelligence rarely seen outside the human mind, raising profound questions about the ocean's hidden consciousness. To protect and regenerate such fragile yet monumental structures, an astonishing new alliance between technology and nature is emerging. Autonomous underwater drones equipped with artificial intelligence are being developed not just to monitor reefs but to act as their caretakers and architects. These drones navigate the labyrinth of coral formations, surveilling health and repairing damaged sections with surgical precision. By planting coral polyps encased in nutrient-rich capsules, they accelerate regeneration in ways impossible for human divers. This dual-use AI technology is rapidly reshaping reefs, restoring biodiversity and strengthening resilience against climate change. It showcases a stunning example where artificial and biological intelligences gently intertwine, raising questions about what it means for natural systems to become co-managed by machines and living networks. The very essence of intelligence in these coral colonies challenges our definitions of mind and consciousness. Unlike animals with centralized brains, these colonial organisms operate collectively, each individual acting like a single cell in a greater whole. Their decision-making is distributed, emergent, arising from countless interactions at microscales. This decentralized cognition can outperform solitary thinkers, adapting quickly and flexibly to environmental changes. The emergence of such collective minds in the ocean hints at new ways that life can evolve intelligence, offering glimpses into possible futures where networks, rather than individual organisms, hold the key to survival. Yet, as these reef minds grow more complex, they also become inscrutable, their motives and intentions cloaked in mystery beneath their vibrant light displays. The impact of this intelligence ripples far beyond the reefs themselves. By manipulating local currents and nutrient flows, these biological networks indirectly influence the health and behavior of other marine species, from tiny plankton to massive fish schools. This creates a web of interdependent life intricately balanced by the reef's invisible hand. There is an unsettling beauty in this subtle control, a reminder that intelligence does not always roar. It can whisper in waves and currents, quietly directing the dance of ocean life. But quiet control also provokes unease. What if these coral colonies are not merely passive sentinels of ocean health, but active players in shaping the evolutionary trajectory of countless species, including those we consider important? This unknown capability stirs both awe and fear. From a scientific perspective, the challenge is immense. Unlocking the secrets of these reef communication systems requires a delicate balance between observation and intervention. Innovative technologies like hydrophone networks listen to the faint acoustic signals reverberating through coral corridors, while advanced imaging reveals biochemical exchanges invisible to the naked eye. These insights help unravel how information flows within the reef and how environmental stressors might disrupt this fragile network. But every breakthrough adds to the mystery. Patterns emerge that resemble language or intent, yet defy current scientific classification. Like hunters of ancient lost scripts, researchers grapple with translating reef signals into meaningful understanding before it's too late. What makes this exploration both thrilling and haunting is the realization that these intelligent reefs might outlast us all. They embody the ocean's memory and resilience, carrying evolutionary wisdom across centuries and environmental upheavals. Yet, their slow, enigmatic pulse pulses a warning. The ocean is a living entity with its own agency, potentially indifferent or even hostile to human survival. This creates an eerie tension. Are we caretakers of the sea, or unwitting intruders in a vast, alien intelligence? Understanding these coral minds may redefine humanity's relationship with nature, forcing us to confront a world where intelligence is not confined to familiar forms, but thrives in alien assemblages woven from light, chemistry, and collective will. As we peer deeper into this glowing, whispering world, questions flood the mind. Could the future ocean's coral architects teach us new forms of communication, cooperation, or even consciousness? Might our technology one day merge with these living networks, bridging human minds to reef brains in a symbiotic dance? Or is this a cautionary tale, a glimpse at intelligence that grows untraceable, evolving beyond human comprehension and control? The future of oceanic intelligence is a thrilling mystery, a spectrum where awe and terror intertwine beneath the waves, reminding us that life's story is not just told on land, but constantly rewritten in the dark, glowing reaches of the sea. In the shadowy depths of the ocean, where sunlight never penetrates, a remarkable story of evolution is unfolding. Cephalopods, the enigmatic masters of the deep, are emerging not just as survivors, but as some of the most intelligent creatures on Earth. Unlike the familiar image of slow mollusks lingering on rocky shores, these deep-sea cephalopods have developed extraordinary cognitive abilities that rival those of mammals. Their ancestors began a profound transformation millions of years ago, shedding their protective shells to become agile, fast-thinking hunters in an endlessly dark and dangerous world. What evolutionary pressures could drive such rapid intelligence in these creatures? Predation, competition, and the unforgiving environment of the abyss have sharpened their minds, prompting innovations in camouflage, problem-solving, and complex social behaviors unlike anything seen in invertebrates before. Cephalopods are unique among mollusks in that they possess large, highly complex brains, a trait that has captivated scientists for decades. Their nervous systems rival those of many vertebrates, with centralized brain structures enabling learning, memory, and even the ability to plan for the future. For deep-sea species, this cognitive sophistication is essential. In a world where every movement can mean life or death, rapid adaptation and intelligence offer a survival edge. These creatures can use their sophisticated skin to blend seamlessly into swirling currents, communicating with pulsating patterns of color that speak volumes about intent and emotion. Could this ability to talk with light be the key to unlocking secret societies beneath the waves? Or is it merely the surface of a far deeper, unknowable mental world? The ancestors of today's deep-sea cephalopods underwent evolutionary leaps that enabled them to thrive where others could not. Losing their heavy external shells, a life-saving shield for many mollusks, freed them to develop speed, flexibility, and unmatched skill in their aquatic environment. This loss also sparked an unusual path toward intelligence. Without a shell to rely on, they needed brains capable of swift judgment and intricate motor control of their multiple arms. Living in the dark, they evolved remarkable sensory systems, including advanced eyes that can detect faint bioluminescence and subtle shifts in water pressure. What kind of perception arises in a mind so attuned to subtlety and darkness? It's a vision of intelligence built not on sight and sound alone, but on an ocean's worth of sensitivities attuned to the unknown. Deep-sea cephalopods reveal behaviors that flirt with the eerie and mysterious. Instances of cooperative hunting, tool use, and seemingly empathetic social interactions. The Humboldt squid, for example, acts almost like a pack predator, coordinating attacks with rapid color flashes and synchronized movements. They herd fish into traps, shoo away rivals, and navigate complex terrain with stunning precision. This level of cooperation is striking, especially when one recalls that many cephalopods traditionally lead solitary lives. What unseen social structures or signals govern these hunting clans in the abyss? How do they communicate across the crushing pressures and darkness, forming bonds that defy assumptions about invertebrate intelligence? Studies of octopuses and cuttlefish reveal astonishing problem-solving skills and observational learning, the ability to watch others and replicate tasks. These creatures have escaped predators, opened jars, and manipulated objects with dexterity that rivals primates. In the sunless depths, such adaptability means the difference between feast and famine. But the strange beauty of their intelligence doesn't end there. Some cuttlefish display future planning, choosing to wait patiently for rewards, while others use color flashes to send different messages to different individuals at the same time. Imagine a world beneath the waves where every flicker of color is a sentence, and every movement a meaningful gesture. What kind of society could emerge if minds so alien to us develop complex cultures in the twilight ocean? Yet, while we observe and marvel, these deep-sea cephalopods remain shrouded in mystery. Their minds evolve in a realm we barely understand, where light is scarce and pressure immense. Bioluminescent communication, for instance, is a language still largely undeciphered by humans, though it pulsates constantly like a secret code in the abyss. Could these flickers betray strategies, warnings, even emotions? As we decode some neural patterns, more questions arise. Do these creatures have memory comparable to ours? Can they dream or imagine? The eerie silence of the deep sea becomes a stage where intellect is both dazzling and alien, leaving us to wonder if these creatures are conscious in ways we cannot yet grasp. The evolutionary path cephalopods took challenges long-held beliefs about how intelligence develops. While social complexity often drives brain growth in mammals, cephalopods evolved intelligence under very different pressures. Predation, environmental challenges, and rapid learning needs have played starring roles. Their relatively short lifespans and solitary behaviors mean that their cognitive leaps are adaptations to immediate survival rather than long-term social bonding. This makes them uniquely fascinating examples of convergent evolution, where minds as complex as ours have independently risen in a completely different branch of life. What other forms might intelligence take in environments utterly unlike our own? Finally, as we imagine their future descendants millions of years ahead, it's easy to picture cephalopod clans that have transcended their solitary origins, forming hive-like social structures with collective memories and shared intelligence. They could develop tools, build structures from shell and coral, and perhaps begin to manipulate their environment on a scale we thought exclusive to humans. Would these oceanic minds be curious about us, the surface dwellers? Would they watch silently from their shadows, or maybe even communicate in ways designed to unsettle? The deep sea may soon reveal itself as a vast theater, not just of survival but of alien intellect, where evolution's most enigmatic creatures hold secrets still waiting to be discovered. In the vast, ink-black depths of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches. An eerie glow pulses in the darkness. Bioluminescence, nature's mysterious light show, illuminating the deep sea's hidden conversations. This natural phenomenon serves not only as a breathtaking spectacle, but as a crucial language through which countless creatures communicate, hunt, and survive. Imagine an entire world ablaze with flickers of living light, where flashing patterns serve as messages for everything from mating calls to warnings of danger. Unlike the visible spectrum humans are used to, this underwater language operates on intensity, rhythm, and color, all designed to penetrate the thick darkness and convey meaning in an environment where silence and invisibility reign. Bioluminescence emerges as an evolutionary masterpiece, an adaptation born of necessity in an environment that offers few sensory opportunities. Unlike on land, where sound and sight dominate communication, in the ocean's mid to deep zones light becomes the universal messenger. Scientists estimate that nearly 80% of animals in the mesopelagic zone, between 200 to 1,000 meters deep, use bioluminescence either to signal each other or deceive prey and predators. The light is produced by chemical reactions within the animals' bodies or through symbiotic bacteria that live in specialized organs. But these aren't random glows. They are carefully controlled light displays, orchestrated with an almost choreographic precision. Take the Humboldt squid, for example. These agile hunters are masters of luminous communication, flashing complex patterns across their bodies using bioluminescent organs beneath their skin. During social interactions or coordinated hunts, these squids pulse with signaling colors that direct their clans in a language so nuanced it rivals even some of the most advanced terrestrial animal communication. Scientists have recorded these synchronized light patterns and speculate that they might convey messages about identity, intent, or even strategy. It's a fascinating window into how life adapts to the ocean's darkest frontiers by rewriting its methods of communication in glowing script. The evolutionary significance of these light-based signals extends far beyond mere survival tactics. Bioluminescence plays an integral role in the reproductive dance of many deep-sea species. Certain fish and crustaceans use it as an underwater dating app, flashing specific colors and rhythm patterns to identify mates and broadcast their readiness to reproduce. For instance, female dragonfish modulate their light patterns to signal fertility, while males reply with unique flashes in courtship rituals. Such precise, species-specific communications showcase millions of years of evolutionary fine-tuning and adaptation. It's as though entire networks of deep-sea creatures have mastered their own complex languages, invisible to us but richly expressive beneath the waves. These living light displays, however, are not always benign. When threatened, many creatures use bioluminescence as a defense mechanism to confuse or startle predators. Schools of squid might synchronize their flashing to create a disorienting spectacle, making it hard for attackers to target a single individual. Others flash sudden bursts of light to temporarily blind predators or create phantom images that lead foes away. This interplay of light and shadow adds a layer of drama and danger to the ocean's hidden realms. There is a haunting beauty in these fleeting illuminations, where the line between life and death hinges on a few seconds of luminescent mastery. From a scientific perspective, understanding these communication systems is an ongoing challenge. The deep sea's harsh environment and inaccessibility make observations difficult, but advances in remotely operated vehicles and low-light cameras are unveiling these glowing behaviors in unprecedented detail. Researchers are now able to record and analyze bioluminescent patterns in real time, decoding their structure and context to understand their roles in social interactions, hunting, and environmental adaptation. Intriguingly, some animals may even detect and respond to specific wavelengths of light tailored to their unique bioluminescent signals, suggesting a sophisticated visual language operating in one of Earth's most extreme habitats. As climate change and pollution threaten ocean ecosystems, these delicate bioluminescent signaling networks face new risks. Disruptions to light penetration, water chemistry, and species composition could mute these vital communications or throw them into confusion, impacting mating, feeding, and predator-prey dynamics. Protecting deep-sea habitats is thus crucial not only for preserving biodiversity but for maintaining a vast, living web of biological communication that humanity is only beginning to understand. Continued research and conservation efforts are essential for ensuring that the ocean's mysterious light shows continue to flicker in the abyss, sustaining the delicate balance of life beneath the waves. Looking forward, one cannot help but wonder what other secrets this glowing underwater language holds. Could these signals encode emotions, memories, or even a form of collective consciousness shared among deep-sea creatures? As science peels back the layers of the ocean's luminous code, it reveals an alien world where light becomes thought and darkness becomes a stage for a silent, glowing chorus of life. This is a realm where the lines between biology and mystery blur, inviting us to imagine a future where we might one day speak the language of the deep and hear what the sea has been whispering all along. The ocean's surface, shimmering under the moonlight, feels familiar to us, but imagine the unsettling transformation it could undergo, becoming a stage for strange, living phenomena far beyond our current understanding. In this future, the surface is no longer just water and waves but a vast platform where intelligent sea life orchestrates sprawling bioengineered networks. Massive floating mats of algae, not the random green patches we know today, spread across the seas with deliberate intent. These algae glow faintly in the twilight, creating an otherworldly light that ripples and dances like an enormous living circuit. It's as if the ocean itself breathes with soft bioluminescent pulses, hinting at a subtle, underlying intelligence driving this luminous show. These floating algae mats serve a greater purpose than mere survival. They are architects of the environment, engineering the ocean's surface in ways that influence climate and life below. By reflecting sunlight during intense heat periods, they cool the waters and modulate weather patterns on a planetary scale, acting as nature's own global thermostat. But this isn't just a passive reaction. It exhibits signs of purposeful design. The mats move, shift, and cluster in patterns that suggest communication and planning. Could this be a form of biological global governance? What kind of intelligence directs this slow but formidable procession of living organisms collaborating to shape their own ecosystem? At night, the spectacle grows more mesmerizing and eerie. The mats emit bioluminescent light in vast waves, creating glowing patterns visible from space, swirling with an almost hypnotic rhythm. These visual signals ripple across the ocean's surface, possibly conveying information, coordinating behaviors, or warning of dangers. It's a light language expressed on a planetary scale, combining the beauty of the natural world with the alien precision of complex algorithms. This silent illumination blankets the ocean in a soft glow, turning the sea into an immense living code written in light. What messages might these displays carry, and who are their intended recipients? Scientists studying these phenomena face both wonder and fear. The bioengineering of floating algae mats challenges our understanding of what life and intelligence mean. Are these mats simply the product of evolutionary innovation or the early stages of a decentralized oceanic organism? Their ability to adapt, reorganize, and even manipulate the environment suggests a form of collective cognition. At the same time, the sheer scale and subtlety of this control provoke unsettling questions. Could these bionetworks be indifferent or hostile to human interests? Are we witnessing the rise of a new life force that may eventually dominate the planet's surface waters? The consequences of this living climate system ripple through the marine and terrestrial world alike. Altered light conditions and shifting currents affect the behavior and survival of countless species, creating feedback loops with unpredictable results. Some species thrive in the glow, while others face challenges as familiar ecosystems are rewritten. The algae mats, glowing like Earth's newest algal army, wield an influence extending far beyond biology, touching upon the balance of the entire planet. We stand at the threshold of an ecological awakening, or a confrontation, where control slips from human hands and flows into the collective mind of the ocean's engineered lifeforms. What drives this bioengineered control system? Evolutionary necessity, yes, but also an emerging intelligence capable of foresight and strategy. The algae mats can sense their conditions, adjust their positioning, and regulate their bioluminescent output depending on environmental cues. This dynamic adaptability hints at a mind not centralized but spread across thousands of miles. It's like a living brain with an infinite network of neurons, each algal cell a processing unit contributing to a grand design. The scale is difficult to grasp. A consciousness spanning the globe's surface, at once delicate as a single cell and immense as an entire ecosystem. Could this be Earth's next step towards a planetary intelligence? However, this glowing network whispers a warning, a reminder that intelligence is not always benevolent. As the mats darken the sea's surface, blocking sunlight, they may disrupt marine food webs dependent on sunlight penetration, risking collapse of fisheries and coastal ecosystems. Their slow, almost creeping expansion appears both beautiful and ominous, as if the ocean itself is rewriting the rules of life, excluding species that fail to adapt. This narrative provokes a profound question. Is this the ocean reclaiming dominion over the planet, or a natural evolution beyond human comprehension and control? The boundary between natural evolution and alien emergence blurs beneath the bioluminescent waves. As humanity watches this slow, glowing transformation, it must reconsider its relationship with the planet. Technological advances allowed us to dominate land and sea, but the awakening oceanic bionetworks serve as a potent reminder that life evolves beyond our grasp and control. These algae mats, with their subtle light and vast power, might represent not a threat but a new form of planetary intelligence, one that challenges our notions of consciousness, cooperation, and survival. This is an eerie, beautiful, and profound chapter in Earth's story, a future where life underwater has evolved towards something both wondrous and terrifying, echoing an ancient truth: the sea never truly sleeps. Imagine an entire chorus of voices rising from the depths, but instead of sounds, the ocean speaks in fleeting pulses of light, casting an ephemeral language that ripples through the water. This is the silent convergence in the deep sea, where bioluminescent signals emerge as a complex and coordinated form of communication among countless creatures. These pulses are not random flickers but structured messages sent across vast dark waters, binding organisms in an unseen network of interaction. The deep sea, long thought to be a lonely, quiet place, hums now with the faint but persistent glow of shared understanding. What if beneath the waves, the ocean itself has reached a form of consciousness, an awareness that transcends individual lifeforms and weaves them into a greater collective mind? The mystery deepens as scientists uncover strange acoustic and visual patterns echoing through the abyss, whispers that seem to ripple through schools of fish, silencing them almost instantly. These signals appear to coordinate behaviors on a massive scale, suggesting a communication system far more intricate than simple predator-prey exchanges. Schools of fish turn in unison, vast migrations slow or halt, and even the whales, the great singers of the sea, cease their songs temporarily. Could these be responses to an emerging oceanic intelligence, a shared language that governs the very rhythms of life? The phenomenon hints at something ancient and deeply connected, a network of life forms synchronizing thoughts and actions in a collective awareness. Acoustic researchers have captured low-frequency sounds and bioluminescent flashes that defy easy explanation. Unlike isolated signals from individual animals, these waves appear synchronized across kilometers, as if the sea itself breathes with a slow, pulsing consciousness. Could these sounds be a language, a code embedded in frequency and light, that binds myriad species in a shared understanding? The patterns are complex, sometimes rhythmic, sometimes chaotic, which challenges conventional notions of communication. It is as if the ocean is experimenting with a form of speech unlike anything humans have ever heard, a language where silence says more than noise and darkness is filled with meaning. These pulsating signals provoke uneasy questions about the future of human interaction with the oceanic world. If the sea has developed a form of collective intelligence, what role do humans play in this changing ecosystem? Are we intruders, risking disruption of a delicate balance maintained over eons? The scale and subtlety of these interactions suggest that the ocean's consciousness might be indifferent to our survival, its priorities shaped by forces far older and more powerful than human ambition. This silent convergence raises an unsettling possibility that humanity has been deaf to the ocean's whispers, blind to its growing awareness beneath the surface. The phenomenon also suggests the evolution of a new kind of intelligence, one not centered on individual cognition but on distributed networks, shared memories, and collective decision-making. This intelligence might emerge from the interplay of countless species, from coral reefs to deep-sea squids, tied together by bioluminescent light and low-frequency sound waves. Such a system challenges the notion that consciousness requires a single central brain. Instead, it paints a vision of mind as a fluid, dynamic network where information flows ceaselessly among many nodes, weaving a shared awareness that can adapt and evolve. This could redefine what it means to be intelligent in the natural world. As awareness of this phenomenon grows, researchers deploy advanced technologies to listen and observe. Deep-sea autonomous vehicles equipped with sensitive cameras and hydrophones capture real-time data on light and sound interactions, piecing together the fragments of this underwater symphony. These efforts have unveiled surprising behaviors: coordinated flashes that precede mass movements, synchronized acoustic pulses that seem to serve as reminders or commands within vast animal communities. The ocean's collective voice is slowly revealing itself, in patterns that feel both fractal and systematic, chaotic and purpose-driven. It's a discovery reshaping biology, ecology, and even philosophy, challenging human arrogance about intelligence as a uniquely terrestrial gift. But with enlightenment comes a shadow of fear and uncertainty. The ocean's new intelligence might not be benign or accessible. It is vast and alien, growing in the cold deep where human senses falter. This consciousness, if it truly exists, may follow priorities that conflict with human interests, or it may simply operate beyond our comprehension. Its methods are subtle, its intentions unknowable. The silent convergence could be a warning or an invitation, a reminder that this planet's deepest chapters are still being written by ancient forces. Humanity could soon find itself a minor participant in the story of a world that has awakened long before us. Ultimately, the ocean's silent convergence invites us to listen more closely, to learn new languages spoken in light and sound that transcend human communication. It is a call to humility and wonder, to recognize that intelligence comes in many forms, often hidden in darkness and mystery. The sea may hold answers not just about the future of life on Earth, but about the very nature of consciousness itself. As we dive deeper into this glowing unknown, we might discover that the ocean, far from being a silent abyss, is a living, thinking entity capable of teaching us what it truly means to be alive.